Ew, it's a bloody mess in here. Who did that? Sure wasn't me, because I haven't worked out in like 2 weeks. So, it is the first day of September. It's a new month, and I'm sure it doesn't take me to tell you that this year is flying by. I know a lot of people have subscribed to me for these running and fitness videos, and I'm doing my best to throw those out for you guys, but it's just difficult because I've been sick and whatnot. But let me tell you, I have something planned for tomorrow. I'm going to be filming it, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to take probably all day, but stay tuned for that. Today, we're probably just going to do some standard stuff just to kind of get myself back into the motion of things, mostly because I haven't really done anything. So probably very low weight, going to do some core, probably just like an all-around, like, full body type of workout. But once again, it's going to be really straightforward and really simple. So don't expect anything crazy. And honestly, even before I was injured, when I was training at my best, I still kept it really simple. I like to train at lightweight just because I prefer to do more reps. I'm more of an endurance guy rather than, you know, this big meathead. Nothing wrong with that, but that's just how I am. So I figured I would kind of go over what I would normally do, just obviously minus the running, because it really isn't that different. So what I normally like to do before I start my run, and I do this after as well, is more of a dynamic warm-up. It's freaking hot out, man. It was cold yesterday. I was getting so excited because I'm like, it feels like fall. It's my favorite season of the year. I said I don't normally do static stuff before I would go for a run, but calves are usually pretty tight on me, so I like to get a nice little calf stretch in after I do my dynamics, and then I pretty much just head out for my run. It's pretty straightforward. Don't forget about your arms either. It's one of the most underrated things about running. You gotta have good form if you want to be efficient and perform your best. So once we're back, so now let's say I got back from my run. I'm gonna come here usually, and if I'm not lifting, I'm just gonna sit down and stretch for like 20 minutes, half an hour, get a nice stretch in it. If not, my workouts are pretty straightforward, so I'll just head into core right away, 10-15 minutes, get that going. I like to do core about 3 to 4 times a week. So the first thing I will do when I get back, assuming I'm lifting, is core, and I like to do core about 3 to 4 times a week, so I'll usually start off with about 4 minutes of plank. Is my back supposed to look that bad? I'm seeing it on camera. It looks like I have scoliosis. Is that what it's called? That's bad. But anyway, I'll hold that for about 4 minutes. I'll switch to like side planks. Flip over. Before I got injured, I was a big proponent of doing planks like this and kind of like switching it up. But, you know, since my wrist is still messed up, it's hard to do that. But actually, it's getting a lot better. As you can see right here, I can pretty much do a push-up now, which is great because push-ups used to be like my bread and butter. I used to do so many of them. Now the planks are a staple in my core workout. I do it the same way every time. The first 4 minutes of every session is always gonna be planks of some sort. If I make it through that, usually that's the most difficult part for me, honestly. I try to switch it up too. You don't wanna be doing the same exact workout every time, otherwise it just becomes redundant and you stop getting stronger. Just kind of like stagnates. So I'll usually do some crunches, sit-ups. I'm not very good at sit-ups. Usually I have to have somebody hold down my feet if I do those. I'll do some back crunches, I like those. Go to the side. Scissors. Switch it up. 6 inches. Whatever these things are called. So now I did 10 minutes of core there. That actually really hurt because I lost all my abs. Next, I like to go to like push-ups or pull-ups. I like to do those every day. I know people say you shouldn't lift every day, but I don't really consider that lifting. It's more so just a strength exercise, kind of like stretching in my opinion, that you should just kind of do every day. But don't take my word for it, seriously. I'm not a freaking doctor. This is just the stuff that has worked for me over the years, and it's helped me build the confidence that I have whenever I work out, and I think it does the job. Now before we had this pull-up bar in here, I used to do my pull-ups out here on the driveway. I'm still really horrid at pull-ups, even though I've been practicing. I've actually gotten better, but I don't do them in sets of 10 like I normally would with things. Now, with push-ups and pull-ups, I do them interchangeably, so I'll usually just do them in a superset. So I'll do pull-ups, then I'll go to push-ups, then I'll go back and forth for just however many sets I choose to. So for pull-ups, for someone like me who's pretty weak upper body-wise, I usually do like 5 repetitions for 5 sets. Just something not too difficult for most of you guys. But for push-ups, I like to do, for push-ups I do it a weird way. I'll do like a set earlier in the day if I work out, and then like later at night before I go to bed, I'll do another set. Usually like sets of 10 push-ups, nothing too crazy, but I like to get about 100 in a day. Let's see if we can do some regular push-ups. It's been a long time since I've been able to do them, but like in the past 2-3 weeks, I've made a considerable amount of progress. So keep in mind, for like 4 or 5 months, I couldn't do a push-up without the help of like a dumbbell or something. So let's take a look here. Like I can feel the mobility. It's like back in my wrist, and there's like more support here for the first time in such a long time. So we'll try and knock out 10 right here. I still feel it. It's still not quite back to 100%. I'd say it's probably 80-85%, but dude, that is a good feeling. All right, so it's been about 10-15 minutes, and I knocked out 25 pull-ups, and I knocked out 5 sets of 5 pull-ups, so 25, and 10 sets of 10 push-ups, 100. And I feel like I could have done that a lot quicker, but dude, when I do pull-ups, I just give myself so much rest because I'm such a bitch about it. I just do not want to do them, but I want to be good at pull-ups, you know? So I've been doing a lot of work on my wrist. I'll show you a couple of the things I've been doing. They're kind of funny, but I'll show you some of the exercises I've been doing, and they've actually been helping a lot. As stupid as you're about to see, they look. Okay, so I'll show you some of the exercises I've done that have actually helped improve my wrist without PT. And honestly, I think whatever I've been doing have actually been working, and it hasn't just been like the fact that so much time has passed that they just started healing. I think that's a product of it, but ever since I started doing these exercises, I've noticed a considerable amount of recovery. I have all these bands here. It's like some of them are stronger than others. The black band is the strongest. I actually use the black band now, but I started on this green one, which is the lightest one or weakest one. And I'll just do simple exercises where I just kind of work on reaching out. I'll do like 10 reps for each direction. I lost count there, but just to give you an idea. So I'll do the same for each arm. And then I'll go like diagonal up, diagonal down, circles. I'll go through that sequence probably about 4 or 5 times. And my God, does that get your shoulders and your wrists just like, just bursting at the seams. It hurts so bad. But I'm actually pretty used to it now because I've been really strict about it. All right, so this is kind of like the funny one. This one I think is actually made like the most difference in my recovery here. I take my wrist and I like twist it until it's like in a you want it to be a little uncomfortable because you're working on getting the dexterity back. You want some mobility back in it. I wasn't able to turn it, right? So you turn it until it gets to a point where it starts to hurt, you feel uncomfortable. You sit on your hand and just kind of hold it for 2 minutes. And then you do that like 2 or 3 times, or until it's like throbbing. You don't want it to, once it starts to throb, you know you like went a bit overboard. So now this is the most fun part. It's kind of like relaxing for me, but like I said earlier, I'm not really a big fan of doing like high weight. I'm more of a fan of endurance, so I do high repetitions, minimal weight. So what I like to do now, I think these are called plyometrics. I don't know. What I'll do is I'll just stand here and do like 50 lunges for each leg. So 1, 2, 2, and then I'll go all the way up to 50. Woo! There's something about lifting your body weight over and over again that will really get you into shape. I'm telling you, if you haven't tried it, I suggest you try it. It hurts. After I do that, I like to do a little bit of jump rope, just like 50 to 100 jumps for 2 sets, something real simple. So I'm a white boy, in case you couldn't notice, and I can't jump very well, so I like to do some jumps right here. This is a pretty decent height, it's probably the length of a fruit by the foot. Probably a little lower, but I like to do this for a little bit, usually like 20 jumps or something like that. And for the most part, that's pretty much the gist, like the base layout of what I do. Obviously, I didn't run because I can't run quite yet. I'm gonna get my 5,000 steps in at some point today. But once I do all of that, I'll usually go in there, and if I'm actually gonna do a full workout, obviously we have the whiteboard in there, and my sister, she actually is like a trainer, so she kind of writes them out, and I just kind of follow them. But I'll usually do I like rows, I like, squats with the barbell. I like to do benching, but I don't like to do it with the bar. I like to do it with dumbbells. Very self-explanatory, and I don't know enough about lifting to give you guys all these tips, but that's just kind of how I've done it over the years, and it's worked for me at least, and I just don't want you guys to take it word for word and try and completely replicate it, because it might not work for you. In fact, it probably won't, but I hope you guys enjoyed. To wrap things up, I definitely believe a lot of the successful races and successful periods of running that I've had in my life are a result of being flexible. I've taken my stretching very seriously the last 2 years, I'd say, and it's helped me greatly, and I think I've overcome quite a few injuries because of it. So yeah, if you can find the time, usually the best time for me is like at night when you would be like watching Netflix or just like messing around on Xbox, maybe just sit down and stretch. Like whenever I'm playing Call of Duty at night with my friends, I like to sit down on the ground in between games, and I'll just sit there and like stretch for a couple minutes, because what else am I going to be doing, right? Just sitting on my phone. I mean, you can sit on your phone while you stretch, so what's it going to hurt? I think the impact it leaves on you is totally worthwhile. So looking forward to running again in a few weeks. I guess the only direction from here is up. So see you guys later.